And hello there. Let's keep your week rolling just right with the right mix of music conversations, whether you're catching us online or watching us on TV. Hop on and join the chat. I'm Paolo de Rosario.
Hello there, beautiful people. I'm Asis-Carilo. It's finally Friday. Here's your daily dose of deep dives and good vibes. Welcome to Beautiful Day.
Ba't ka natawa?
Kasi nakakatawa ka.
ako?
I don't know. Your thing snapped.
Okay, first, that thing is yung mic ko, okay? Kasi normally, gumagalaw to. But hindi siya gumagalaw today. I don't know.
Hindi kasi it's stuck.
No, hindi. Normally, I can
Okay.
move this. And it feels like a handheld.
You know, this is good. This is going to sound really funny when we start simulcasting on Mellow.
Oo.
And then I say, your thing snapped.
Oo nga
and there are no visuals.
Kailangan ko i-explain, di ba?
Explain,
But
yes.
that's also the reason why na sure kayo na live TV po to.
That's right.
This is
'Cause
live.
these things happen.
Oo.
And it's actually, for me, these are the best parts. You know, the unexpected moments, and then we just laugh about it. It makes it so real.
It makes it so real. But you
Yeah.
know what's also real? Hindi ko to magalaw. Wait lang. I feel so stiff.
What a way to start the month of August.
Wow, hello August. Sorry, July was more my month. I don't know. I feel
Oh, yeah?
I like
ayan.
July.
August is giving you surprises, like
Oo
hindi
nga eh.
magalaw yung mic mo. Ayan.
Yeah, I don't.
Grabe,
Hindi ako
August na. Hold
Hindi ako
on.
masisira. Okay,
Oh,
so
ikaw
I just
daw
got
magbabayad
notice
niyan
kung
pag
masira
nasira.
na to.
Sir
Ako
Spy,
yung
si Paolo
magbabayad.
po yung si Paolo po yung gumagalaw.
You know
Wala
what?
po akong
Fine, ako
We're
na
not
lang
gonna touch this
You know
anymore.
what? Before we started the show, someone asked Anne to put the mic closer to her. Nagalit siya sa mic. Sabi daw yung mic yung lumapit sa kanya. Pero sige, alam mo, ako na lang yung mag-a-adjust sa mic ko. Okay? Or anyway, we have a lot to talk about here today.
Yes!
May guest tayo na film columnist.
Yes, that's right. Film critic, anak siya ni Wanggo Gallaga.
Yes.
Yes. So he's going to be joining us. Wanggo Gallaga, later we'll be talking about his recommended Filipino films for the Linggo ng Wika.
Yeah.
Month of, what's that?
Buwan ng Wika.
Buwan ng Wika, there
Kasi
you
linggo,
go.
week lang yan. Eh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then kasi sa schools, di ba, it's Linggo ng Wika.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Pero buwan ng wika tayo. So, okay, I
Buwan ng
just
wika,
want to
yes.
show everyone. Pa-wide shot naman sa cam to. Okay? Nagagalit si Wanggo kasi the
Bakit?
framing is off. Look at this, cam to. Look at how on the side I am. Because hindi ako maka-adjust sa mic ko.
Well, whose fault is it?
Yung mic. Nagalit ka sa mic kanina.
Kasi
Nagalit ka sa mic kanina, ako
narinig
na.
mo, sabi ni Direk, kasi late ka. Kung dumarating ka na maaga, na-framing niya tayo ng maayos.
Late pa tayo nagsimula, hindi naman. Anyway, we also have serious news mamaya.
Yes.
Weather HQ, we're gonna talk about the National Irrigation System natin and in particular with the National Irrigation Administrator, Edward Willian. So we have conversations that are medyo seryoso din naman dito. We're not all
Yes.
joke time here. Even though sometimes, hindi gumagalaw yung mic, parang joke time yun. But of course,
August is playing a joke on you. First day of
hindi naman
August.
April eh. April Fools dapat yun eh. Okay, so we also have everyone still online.
That's right. We are on Facebook and YouTube. You can watch us there live and you can send your messages, your questions, your comments, your suggestions. Kung may gusto ko yung sabihin kay Paolo del Rosario who's ruining our framing
Hindi,
right
or
now.
sa mic ko. Okay, magalit tayo sa mic. Bigyan natin ng pangalan yung mic. Like,
Ano?
sa-
Mic 1, mic 2.
Hindi. Kami.
Ah,
Kuya,
who?
RB?
RB? Bakit RB? Ay,
Ako. No, anyway, sorry
Labo?
Medyo inside joke yun.
Oh,
kasi
inside joke, hindi
kasi
nila
hindi
kilala si
naka-mic
RB.
yung floor director natin.
Oo, yeah.
Kaya,
so
so,
they're
hindi
throwing
naman
us
rin.
suggestions. But if you guys want to name our microphones, go ahead and let us know. There's a comment section over there on Facebook and on YouTube. We are going to read those messages. We always love it when you guys send us, those emojis,
Yeah.
messages, greetings.
Of course.
Diba? Pwede ring greetings. And I think starting next week, if I'm not mistaken, we are going to be simulcast on Mellow 94.7 BFM. Right now, we are live on their Facebook page, so go ahead and join the show. We're going to be with you for the next hour and a half while
Yes.
Paolo is trying to fix his microphone over there.
I just like mobility, okay? I like to go, I'm so stuck. Pero I don't know name your friends who are not mobile, na hindi talaga gumagalaw. I'm trying to figure out why it's not moving. I don't know though.
Speaking of mobility and speaking of being stuck, let's go see if you guys are going to be stuck on the road
Gandang segue.
this morning. Yes, so let's check the situation in major roads at this hour. We'll take a look at EDSA Quezon Avenue flyover on the left side of your screens. We're seeing vehicles heading to Quiapo, and moderate traffic is already building up on that stretch. I'm so happy I'm seeing sun outside. Yay! Finally some sun. On the right side of the screen, you're seeing vehicles heading to the Quezon Memorial Circle. Moderate traffic there as well. Now let's take a look at EDSA White Plains this time. Left side of your screens are vehicles heading to Shaw Boulevard, already looking busy. Moderate traffic building up on that lane. Opposite side, light traffic. Those are the vehicles heading to Cubao. Now heads up to motorists. The expanded vehicle number coding scheme is in full swing. It's a Friday, so vehicles with license plates ending in 9 and 0 should be off the road right about now until 10 a.m. and again later from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Let's find out what the weather will be like this Friday. Paolo has today's forecast from Weather HQ. Take it away, Pao.
Thank you so much, Anne. Let's take a look at the local weather. Now, looking at the latest from the Metra satellite in particular, southwest monsoon continues to affect our weather patterns, bringing in moist air that's feeding rainfall all across Luzon and the parts of Visayas. Now, you can expect cloudy skies with scattered rains and thunderstorms in the Ilocos region, Batanes, Babuyan, Abra, Benguet, and Zambales. These moderate to at times heavy rains may lead to flash floods or landslides, so make sure you stay alert and take every precaution necessary. Now, meanwhile, for Metro Manila, as we move on over there, umaba yung position natin, and the rest of Luzon and the Visayas, it will be partly cloudy to cloudy with the isolated rain showers or thunderstorms to be expected. All of this still due to the southwest monsoon coming in. Now, let's go down south to Mindanao. You can expect localized thunderstorms that will bring partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated showers. Now, for our sea condition, our fisherfolk and sea travelers can expect this in northern Luzon. Please be extra careful because in the extreme northern Luzon, you can expect moderate to rough seas, which waves that could reach up to 3.7 meters. Now, this is true also. Similar conditions are likely along the western coast of Luzon, where wave heights could go up as high to 2.8 meters. Now, for the rest of the country, sea conditions will be generally light to moderate, with wave heights of up to 2.1 meters. But remember, the monsoon can suddenly get stronger, bringing in bigger waves and stronger winds, especially on the west side of the country. Always check the latest weather updates before heading out to sea to make sure that you stay safe out there. That's it for Weather HQ at the moment. And back to you.
Thank you so much, Pao. Now on to our top stories this morning. After weeks of silence, the camp of billionaire gambling tycoon Atong Ang gave an exclusive answer to Bilyonaryo News Channel on the true mastermind behind the 34 missing sabongeros. According to a source who declined to reveal their identity, but is with Ang's legal team, through their own investigations, the ones really behind the missing sabongeros are who they call the Patidongan Brothers Syndicate. According to the source's document, whistleblower Julie Dondon Patidongan is the main man in 3 of the cockfighting pits owned by Ang and has a private army which his brothers are part of. Patidongan has denied these allegations.
Nakakatawa naman siya. Ibig sabihin, ako na ngayon si Mr. Atongang at ako na ngayon ang may-ari ng mga cockpit arena at ako na ngayon ang chairman ng pitmaster. Nakakatawa siya. Kung ako ang nagutos niyan, bakit niya binigyan ng monthly si Colonel Orapa ng 2 million? Saan ako kukuha ng 2 million? Di ba siya ang pinaka big time?
AGA Party List Representative Ticonor Briones admits he was watching a cockfight video on his phone during a House session, but denies he was gambling. Now, he claims someone sent him the video through Messenger and he just opened it out of curiosity. Briones even showed media the link and insisted it was just a practice fight. He still apologized for the distraction, but says his conscience is clear and he challenges whoever took the video to come forward.
Sa totoo lang, malinis ang konsensya ko. Hindi ako sa bungero. Hindi nga ako marunong ng online. Wala akong GCash, walang lahat. Wala akong money transfer, hindi ako marunong. So, hindi ko lang kung sino may pakanan nito. Sana lumabas, magpakilala. Una, humingi siya ng pasensya sa akin. Ako naman, humihingi ako ng pasensya dahil ang aking maraming naapektuhan dahil doon sa pagkakasagot ko doon sa messenger.
Well, you know what? You were saying that nakakaawa siya
Parang
for you.
kawawa naman. I feel like,
Oo.
sabi niya, hindi raw siya marunong sa online. Wala siyang e-wallet. So, I don't know. If
Like-
that's true, kawawa naman.
No, I mean, like, kasi there are some older gentlemen, older ladies na talagang technologically not quite there. Sabi
Yes.
niya, wala
That's
daw siya
true.
GCash, wala
Yeah,
daw siyang
yeah.
mga digital wallet. So, and then watching a practice fight, natsyempohan lang talaga.
Natsyempohan lang, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, at the same time, this is also why you don't just open links from friends
That's
at
true.
work. Oo, kasi minsan
Kasi minsan scam
Oo.
din yun, ha? Once you open a link on
Yeah.
your messenger or your email, di ba, it leads to some website and they get your information.
Yeah, yung
So,
mga phishing.
oo, kaya minsan lagi nabibiktima yung older people na hindi masyadong marunong sa technology.
Yeah, so
So you have to be very careful. Sir, next time huwag kang mag-click agad.
Oh, actually. No, and
Like
also,
advice.
ako personally, I am very wary when friends send links minsan at hindi ko nagpe-preview.
Oh,
Kasi
okay.
minsan, some friends could be, mischievous. Mischievous. Oo. Anong Tagalog
Pwede.
doon? Kasi buwan ng wika.
Ang hirap, talungin na lang
Moving
natin
on.
si Wanggo mamaya. Moving on to more of our headlines, a draft resolution is making rounds in the Senate to clarify their stance on the impeachment of Vice President Sara Duterte. The resolution aims to answer the Supreme Court's decision to dismiss the impeachment. The resolution is led by Senator Kiko Pangilinan as the Senate seeks to balance their perspective on the SC's ruling. As of now, the Senate will debate on August 6 on the matter, according to Senate President Chiz Escudero.
Now, the Makabayan bloc says the DPWH shouldn't be allowed to investigate its own flood control failures, calling it a clear conflict of interest. They insist the Commission on Audit should take charge. Even Senator Riza Ontiveros backed the move, urging for COA reports to be used in the upcoming budget debates. The senator further cited COA's track record in exposing government scandals with over 200 billion pesos in delayed or botched DPWH projects flagged in 2023 alone. And, I personally believe that just taking a look at this from the last habagat, it was just not even a direct hit over Metro Manila. Diba? That people are worried about yung mga flood control projects natin and plus all of the discussion and scandal brought about by the alleged insertion sa budget recently when it comes to infrastructure projects. This feels like hopefully more sustained focus on our flood work projects, our
Yes.
infrastructure, even if hindi bumabaha ngayon. Na-mention mo nga kanina, may araw eh. And
Yes,
yet here
there's
we are,
sun.
we're talking about it.
Yes, we're talking about this. And I agree, there should be a separate body leading the investigation on the DPWH flood control projects kasi hindi pwedeng sila
Yes.
doing their own investigation. So it has to be like a separate body heading this investigation and looking into these incomplete, failed projects, ghost projects, right? So I agree with this one. Now, moving on. Tourism Secretary Cristina Garcia Frasco is defending her agency's performance amid criticisms from two lawmakers who said the DOT is underperforming. She points to a 13% increase in tourism spending from 2023 to 2024, with nearly 7 million Filipinos now working in the sector. This despite the agency's budget trimmed down to just 100 million pesos for 2025, down from over $1 billion in previous years. She urged Congress to consider the full picture amid speculation that her husband's break from the House majority may have triggered the attacks.
I certainly hope not, but the timing of the remarks that were broadcasted by the good gentleman from the House of Representatives, Isidre and Ortega, is quite suspect, considering that my husband, Congressman Duke Frasco, declared his stance as an independent member of the House of Representatives only 2 days before, or rather, only a day before their remarks.
Moving on, Senator Riza Ontiveros has submitted another resolution to investigate the Villar-owned Prime Water for its poor service. The investigation focuses on the call of multiple LGUs to cancel joint venture agreements with Prime Water following numerous complaints from the people that they service. Ontiveros says that even with siblings Mark and Camille Villar in the Senate, she is hopeful that she'll have the support of the majority. Now moving on to sports, Gilas Pilipinas wing Jamie Malonzo is moving to the land of the rising sun after signing with the Japan B-League's Kyoto Hanaris. The signing was announced via the Kyoto-based squad's official social media account. For Barangay Ginebra last conference, Malonzo put up averages of 13 points and 6 rebounds as the Gin Kings bowed out in the semis. Malonzo is currently part of the Gilas Pilipinas team competing in the FIBA Asia Cup in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
And here is our tea this morning. Jason Momoa is shaving down and suiting up. The actor just ditched his beard for the first time in 6 years to return as Duncan Idaho in Dune Part 3. On Instagram, he shared a video of himself shaving his beard to get back into character. In fairness, bagay ha. The next chapter hits theaters December 2026 and brings back fan favorites like Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya.
I'm excited.
I like
for
that look on him, actually.
I love Dune. I love Dune.
I have not
in general.
watched. I should.
It's such a good piece of cinema. Dune 1 is good. Dune 2 is good. Siguro Dune 3. Okay rin. Basta masaya siya dun.
Dun tayo.
Dun tayo.
But his son is going to be part of the cast. What's his name? Nakoa Wolf Momoa. I hope I got that right. So he's going to be part of the cast, and reportedly he's playing the son of Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya.
Okay, yeah. So that should be really interesting because look, if you're a sci-fi dork, like I don't know if dork's the right term. Hello, fellow dorks. I think this is exploring a bit of uncharted territory in the film universe in general, in terms of all of the Dune movies that came out. So the first two Dunes were really good. So I'm really hoping that Dune 3 also lives up because the bar is set so high.
Where
It's
can we
so
watch the first two Dune movies? Is that on Netflix?
I think that's a HBO.
HBO?
I think that's a HBO Max. I
That
think
should
that's a
be
Max,
my
yeah.
project this weekend.
Yes,
Watch
because
those.
it's long, but it's really good. Like just from the, I wish we could talk to Wanggo right now. Pero mamaya we're talking about Filipino movies.
Maybe you can ask him later.
Yeah. But Dune 3, Dune in general, just great pieces of cinema, great set pieces, very dramatic, and like the first two ones even had a Pinoy in it, in Dave Bautista, right? So he plays one of the contrabidas there, and he emphasizes my staunch belief that he is still the best ever wrestler actor. To
You
be part of.
think?
Yeah, better
Ooh.
than The Rock, better than
Talaga?
John
Better
Cena,
than The Rock.
better than Hulk Hogan. Yeah, that's just me though.
Okay.
But yeah, anyway.
But I love Batista.
Yeah,
do
I
him.
love
Yeah.
Batista. Unfortunately, he will not be in Dune 3 kasi namatay na yung character niya. But yeah,
That's
look,
something to look forward
Yeah,
to.
something to look forward to.
2026. So yeah, December
ayun, matagal
2026.
rin.
Yes.
All right, so we have some serious news when we return because I'll be speaking with the National Irrigation Administrator, Engineer Eduardo Guillen, to talk about the new irrigation projects designed to boost farm output and control flooding. Stay with us. Beautiful day. We'll be right back.
welcome back to Beautiful Day. It's the first day of August. Let's go find out if it's going to be a good day for us or not. Let's find out from our resident energizer and feng shui master, Hans Kua, in our horoscope of the day. Take it away, Master Hans.
Good morning! Beautiful day with me, Bilyonaryo Feng Shui Master Hans Kua. Ito po ang horoscope for Friday, August 1. Simulan natin sa Year of the Rat. Kung may inaantay kang sagot o proposal, ngayon mo na i-finalize yan. Huwag nang patagalin. Red at 2. Kay Oksaman tayo kung seryoso ka sa kanya. Ngayon ang tamang panahon para sabihing ikaw ay ready, handa na. Gold at 6. Kay Year of the Tiger naman tayo, magandang energy para mag-apply ng bagong trabaho, i-finalize ang resignation. Green at 5. Kay Year of the Rabbit naman tayo, mag-ingat sa mabiglaang kumakausap muli. Hindi lahat ay may mabuting layunin. White at 4. Kay Year of the Dragon naman, panahon na para tapusin ang isang pag-ibig na paulit-ulit lang ang sakit. Red at 7. Kay Year of the Snake naman tayo, iwas muna tayo sa online flirt. Maaaring may negatibong espiritu sa likod ng screen. Tan at 5. Ito naman, Kay of the Horsey, huwag kang matugsong balikan si ex. Tapos na yan, kahit malamig ang ulan. Green at 9. Kay Year of the Ship naman, iwas power struggle. Hayaan ang iba ang mag-ingay. Violet at 3. Kay Year of the Monkey naman tayo, huwag magpakitang gilas sa boss. Hindi ito ang tamang panahon. Blue at 2. Kay Year of the Rooster naman tayo, huwag ipahawak ang wallet sa iba. Protektahan ang swerte mo. Yellow at 6. Kay Year of the Dog naman tayo, huwag ilabas ang bagong gamit. Baka mainggit ang iba. Pink at 8. At kay Year of the Pig naman tayo, iwasan ang pag-pursue sa taong may sabay-sabay na kausap ngayong Ghost Month. Silver at 1. Paalala lang, ito po'y patnubay lamang. Ang tunay na swerte ay nagsisimula sa pagiging totoo. Abangan ang horoscope of the day dito lang po sa Beautiful Day with me, Master Hans Kua, Bilyonaryo Feng Shui Expert.
Thank you so much. As always, Master Hans Kua, we always look forward to our horoscope of the day. Now we've got a more serious subject for you on Weather HQ. On to you, Paolo.
Thank you so much, Anne. I really want to talk about the horoscope with you, but first we have more serious business because climate change continues to affect our weather patterns and water supply. The role of irrigation in ensuring food security has become more crucial than ever, and the National Irrigation Administration is at the forefront of efforts to modernize irrigation systems, boost palay production, and even prevent flooding through innovative projects. Now, joining us now is NIA Administrator Engineer Eduardo Guillen to tell us more about these initiatives and how they directly impact the lives of Filipino farmers and consumers. Magandang umaga, Engineer. Welcome to Beautiful Day.
Bigat po. Magandang umaga po sa atin lahat.
Alright, sir. Simulan muna natin with yung role po ng NIA and helping yung rice production dito sa Pilipinas. Can you tell us a bit about yung mga recent projects ninyo na talagang masasabi natin tumutulong sa rice production, palay production dito sa Pilipinas?
Wala, alam naman na po natin lahat. Of course, ang mandate ng NIA ay sa irigasyon. Mag-construct tayo ng additional irrigation pa po para, para sa ating food security. Pero meron pong mga ginagawa ng NIA ngayon na talaga palagay namin ay may malaki ang impact dahil nitong first quarter pa lang nakita na natin ang effect. Tumaas talaga yung ating production. Ito po yung pagbabago natin ng ating cropping calendar. Dati, from December yung isa, June and July yung isa. Kaya lang sabi ko, yung June nating cropping calendar, yung wet season, natataon sa bagyuhan. So, iminove natin. So, ngayon, October na po tayo, ang first dry cropping namin. Ani tayo ng January, February, and then March, tanim ulit tayo. Ani ulit tayo ng June, July. So, na-increase po natin yung ating yield at ang ating cropping intensity. So yan po ang dahilan ngayon kung bakit biglang tumaas yung ating production sa pagkain.
Sir, naging iba po ba yung cropping calendar po natin dahil sa climate change? Dahil medyo dumadami na talaga ang mga extreme weather events na nakakita natin dito sa Pilipinas.
Tama po yan. Ito po yung smart climate agriculture ang tinatawag natin. Ano po? So, ang ginawa namin, tinignan lamang po namin kung ano ba, saan pa natin dapat ipapasok yung ating cropping calendar. Ano? So, ang maganda po kasi pagka nag-double dry ka during the dry season, ano, tataas talaga yung yield dahil maaraw. Ano po? At ilalayo mo sa bagyo ang ating mga farmers. Kaya lesser po ng risk. So, ito po yung ating climate change adaptation po ito.
Nagpakita kami ng materials po dito galing po sa inyo na may solar-powered irrigation systems na po kayo. How new are yung solar-powered irrigation systems po ninyo? And of course, how effective is it in terms of yung benefits para sa ating mga magsasaka?
Napakaganda po nito, no? Alam niyo po kasi lahat ng ating irrigation system sa buong bansa, may problema po kami doon sa dulo ng ating irrigation facilities dahil na lalahatin ko na, ano po, lahat ng ilog sa buong bansa ay silted. So kinukulang na yung tubig na pumapasok sa ating mga irigasyon. Kaya nagtatayo po kami ng mga solar pump irrigation projects doon po sa ating, inilalagay namin yung solar panel kung nakikita nyo doon sa taas ng kanal para walang nasasayang na lupa. Ano po? At pinapump natin yung tubig dito sa ating kanal para ma-irrigate natin yung sa dulo. May maganda po ito dahil nandiyan na yung irrigation facilities natin. Matipid po ito. Ano? Ang pagkaganyang sistema, ang nagagastos lamang po natin dyan, around 350,000 pesos per hectare lamang. Compared sa yung regular po na mag-repair tayo, may mga nasira rin kasing irigasyon pag ni-repair mo yan. Mga 700,000 ang cost niyan per hectare. At yung new irrigation po ay nagkukos yan ng between 1.2 to 1.5 million. Ang maganda po dito sa solar pump irrigation natin, sandali lang namin itong ginagawa mga 4 to 6 months compared sa mga new irrigation natin, mga 3 to 5 years yan. Kaya ramdam agad yung effect. Mura na, mabilis pang gawin, at of course, ito'y yung ating mga system, sinasabi ko nga ngayon, gagawin pa ng mga farmers dapat pag binigyan ng Philmex sila ng rice processing system, pwede rin nilang gamitin yung extra production sa kuryente para doon sa pagpapatakbo ng kanilang kiskisan.
Sir, anong percent na po yung sa irrigation system po natin na naka-solar na po? And may timeline po ba kayo para i-expand yung proyekto na to?
Ano po kasi ito, yung iba po kasi natin na nilalagyan ngayon ng solar pump irrigation, po, yung mga sa upland communities. Ito po yung mga hindi na isama ng National Irrigation Master Plan ng NIA noong ginawa. Kaya nagulat po ako nung pinagawan ko po ng Regional Irrigation Master Plan. Na-find out namin na meron palang around 1 million hectares na hindi nakasama doon sa master plan ng NIA. Ito po yung mga nasa upland communities. Ano po?
Opo.
Dahil yung master plan ng NIA based lamang sa 3% slope, ibig sabihin doon lang sa mga kapatagan yan sabi ko, paano naman yung mga farmers natin na nasa upland? So, yan po yung isang kagandahan din ng solar pump natin ngayon, yung mga individual na pumps. Ano po? Yung mga ang range ay nasa 10 to 15 hectares individual pumps. Para po sa mga upland communities natin ito, sa talagang mahihirap na mga farmers. Ano?
Yeah.
At ito, sila pa yung nagpo-produce ng mga high-value crops natin. So, malaki rin yung impact na to. Bibigyan ko kayo ng halimbawa, no? Yung isang project natin, halimbawa sa Occidental Mindoro, yung mga nagtatanim ng sibuyas doon. Abay, yung isang ani lang nila sa isang hektarya, aabot ng 500,000 ang income ng isang farmer doon. Kung mabili mo ng mga around 35 pesos per kilo, yung sibuyas, isipin mo, 35 pesos mo lang bilhin. Kikita na yung farmer natin ng halos kalahating milyon. Paano pa kung binili ng 50 pesos yan o 100 pesos? Ang laki po ng impact talaga sa ating mga farmers. Ito mga solar pump irrigation.
Engineer, pag-usapan na natin yung impact ng irrigation system sa bigger part ng population in the sense na naging hot topic yung flood control as of late. At yung irrigation systems po natin, if I'm not mistaken, are actually a factor in terms of yung flood control in certain areas po. Paano nakakatulong ang ating irrigation systems when it comes to floodwater control?
Napakalaking tulong po na to. Yung ating mga dams, ano po, sila po ang maganda po kasi sa mga high dams, yung impounding dam na tinatawag natin, ano po. Makokontrol mo yung tubig eh. Halimbawa, alam mo na may paparating na bagyo at puno yung dam, mag-release ka lang ng tubig, ano po. Halimbawa, dito po sa ating Magat River, Magat Dam, at Pantabangan Dam natin. So, dahil may system po kasi ang NIA ngayon, yung ating Nexus system, yung binigay ng mga Japanese, ano po, na nape-predict namin yung babagsak na tubig sa ating reservoir area, no? So, 2 weeks prior, alam na namin kung aapaw yung dam o hindi. So, pwede na kami mag-release ng tubig. Tapos, pagdating ho ng bagyo, hindi ho na ho kami nagre-release. Isipin niyo po, yung regular flow ng tubig, halimbawa, nasa 150 cubic meter per second. Alam niyo po ba, pagka may bagyo, ang dumarating na tubig sa ating dam ay umaabot pa ng 8,000 cubic meter per second. Talagang, kung wala yung mga dam natin dyan sa Pantabangan, kahit dito sa may Magat area, talagang matindi po ang baha sa baba. So, ang dams po natin, ibig sabihin multipurpose, pwede po siyang flood control, irrigation, hydropower production, yung power production natin, bulk water, yung dam natin sa Halaor, magagamit mo yan for bulk water, at aquaculture, tourism, So, dapat talaga ang investment ng gobyerno natin itong mga high dams para multipurpose siya, hindi lamang sa food security, kundi para rin po sa napakaraming bagay, power. Yung alam niyo yung Halaor Dam natin, sir, ang maibibigay namin na para sa bulk water dyan, 10 million liters daily. Ibig sabihin, kaya namin, pwede hong gamitin nyo ng 50,000 po na katao dyan sa Iloilo para sa kanilang inuming tubig.
Sir, masasabi po ba natin na yung irrigation systems are actually a factor being considered sa mga budgeting ng mga lawmakers po natin when it comes to flood control? Nagiging issue nga po ang planning and of course yung budgeting, especially for future projects when it comes to flood water or rather flood infrastructure. Sa palagay niyo po ba that irrigation has not been considered as one of yung mga gamit natin deterrent para sa floodwaters, or has it always been a part of yung mga plano talaga in terms of trying to address yung infrastructure problems po natin?
To be honest, yan po talaga ang gusto ng ating presidente. Makita niyo yung mas naunang zona niya, no? Sinasabi niya na dapat lipat tayo sa water management, imbes na flood control lang. Kasi nga kung water management, nagagamit mo na maraming beses yung tubig, hindi lang sa flood control. Kasi ngayon, nakita ng ating Pangulo yung flood control halimbawa sa DPWH, yung mga dike, nagtatayo sila ng mga dike, yung sinasemento yung gilid ng ilog, ang gusto ng ating presidente, but imbes na dike, dapat magtayo kayo ng mga weir dams. Kasi yung weir, yung sabo dams, pwedeng gamitin niya for diversion dam eh. Actually, mayroon na kaming convergence yan ng DPWH. Makikita nyo yan pag inaugurate ang ating Pangulo. Napakaganda pong project ito. Kasi magtatayo ng highways ng weir dam o yung sabo dam. Yung sabo dam kasi sa highways, ang purpose po niyan is to control sediments. Pero ang totoo, pag nagtayo ka ng weir dam sa isang ilog, yan din yung diversion dam ng NIA eh. Di nakatipid na ang NIA ngayon. So ang gagastusin na lang ng NIA yung irrigation facilities o yung kanal, in fact, noong panahon po ni Secretary Babe Singson, ito po yung kanyang paboritong project yung Water Management Flood Control Project, nung ako'y mayor, beneficiary po kami diyan. Kami yung unang nakapagpatayo po ng impounding dam, yung small water impounding project na tinatawag para maipon mo yung tubig kapag umuulan. And then nagagamit namin, nalalagyan namin ng tilapia, nagagamit namin for kayaking, tourism. At pagdating po ng summer, pinapakawalan namin yung tubig para sa aming palayan. Yung project namin sa Pindig, nung ako po yung mayor, yun po yung unang convergence project ng Public Works and Highways. At inaral po ng Kongreso yan. Sila Senator Marcoleta ngayon, pumunta po sa Pindig. Meron silang ginawa na bill, yung National Convergence Initiative for Sustainable Rural Development.
Opo.
Kahit ma-interview si Senator Marcoleta, pumunta sila sa PILDIC, inaral nila yung ginawa namin doon na water management project at sabi nila yan ang solusyon para sa mas mabisang flood control. At yan din ang gusto ng ating presidente. Kaya yung mga speech po niya minsan na sinasabi niya tungkol dyan, ay may nagawa na po kami. Siguro baka this month or next month i-inaugurate po ng ating Pangulo yan.
Alright, Engineer, we're running out of time pero very interesting yung fact na na-mention niyo po na water management yung focus, hindi lang yung flood control. But before we let you go, we have to get yung opinion po ninyo sa isang issue considering yung, syempre kakasaw na lang po. Some people are wondering whether not sustainable po ba yung 20 pesos per kilo para sa kanin po when we take a look at the fact na medyo heavily subsidized po ang 20 pesos per kilo project so far. Is this sustainable po, especially sa nasasabi niyo pong na nagiging mas mura na ang irrigation for certain farmers po?
Sustainable po yan, sir. Para hindi ko ipoprove sa inyo sa salita, ipoprove ko sa inyo sa math, ano? Mathematics kasi yan para ma-prove mo lahat ng bagay. For example, ito po, inote nyo po. For example, meron kang, ito kasi yung ginagawa ng NIA ngayon doon sa aming bagong bayani rice, di ba? May 29 pesos din kami sa NIA. Ano po? Binibigyan namin ng 1 milyon yung ating mga irrigators association na seed money. 1 million. Ano po? At pinapautang nila yan. Ginagamit sa kanilang pagbili ng farm inputs. Pero ibabalik nila sa NIA yan, ano po, ng palay. Hindi po yan, lahat po yan babayaran ha. So 1 million ang ibabalik nila sa NIA ay bibilhin namin yung palay nila ng 20 pesos. So kung 1 million divided by 20 pesos, so 50,000 kilograms na palay ang ibabalik po sa amin. Kwentahin ninyo, ang formula ng NFA, 63% ang recovery, di ba? Kung 63% po ang recovery niyan, yung 50,000 kilos times 0.63, 31,500 po na bigas. Yan po. So kung ang formula po kasi ng NIA, 80-20. 80% yung ibebenta namin ng tamang presyo, market price. Yung 20%, yun po yung binibenta namin po ng 29 pesos. So yung 80% lamang po ng 31.5 is 25,200 kilograms times 42 po yan eh. 42 pesos po yung regular price. 1,058,000 pesos na po yun. Ibig sabihin, nabawi na namin yung kapital namin. Kahit nga ipamigay na namin yung 20%, ano po, ng libre, ibinabenta pa yan ng 20 pesos. Ibig sabihin, kumikita pa din. Ang message ko po dito, yung mga traders naman natin, kahit bilhin nyo naman ng 20 pesos minimum yung palay ng mga farmers natin, ibenta nyo yung 80% naman ng tamang presyo. Tapos, ibenta nyo yung 20%, ibenta nyo na ng mura. Kikita pa rin kayo eh. Mahigit pa rin 15% ang kita nyo sa isang roll ng pera ninyo. Kung 2 beses mong ni-roll yan, edi may 30% ka na. Kung ibangko mo lang yan, i-invest mo 6% lang yan, ang laki na ng kita nyo eh.
Yep.
Huwag yun ang pagsamantalan yung mga farmers natin. Yung tamang presyo lamang po.
Engineer, we wish we had more time kasi talaga mahabang usapan talaga to. Hopefully we can have you again soon. And of course, I just want to correct myself as well. Kanina sinabi ko 20 pesos per kilo ng kanin. Bigas pala po.
Bigas.
Bigas po. Medyo nag-misspeak po ako. But again, once again, thank you so much, NIA Administrator Engineer Eduardo Guillen for joining us today. Maraming salamat po and hopefully we get to talk to you again soon.
Salamat po. Thank you po.
That's it for Weather HQ and back to you.
Later in the Hangout, let's geek over essential Filipino films as we open Buwan ng Wika this August. We give you some essential Filipino movie recommendations straight from film critic Wanggo Gallaga. Don't miss our conversation. Beautiful day. We'll be right back. still watching Beautiful Day. We sit down with a leading voice in Philippine movies and theater reviews as he gives his personal recommendation on movies to watch this Buwan ng Wika. Wanggo Gallaga joins us in the Hangout. Beautiful day, Wanggo. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me. Hi.
Thank you for waking up really, really early. Is this
Yes.
too early for you?
Actually, it is now. I used to have 8 a.m. classes, but I realized that asking students to wake up at 8 a.m., film students at 8 a.m., and then watching movies like some of the films I'm talking about,
Yeah.
they're not ready to watch Maynila sa Kuko ng Liwanag at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
So I've decided to move all of my classes in the late morning or afternoon.
Which
they
is
prefer
just
it
the
better.
perfect time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to watch movies of that caliber.
So we really appreciate your effort, waking up super early to join us live
Thank you for
today.
having me.
You are the resident reviewer of Click the City.
City.
Yes, can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, I started writing for Click the City in 2018, and I've been watching movies, watching plays, and then just very recently I started writing feature articles about movies and theater for Inquirer.
I feel like that is the most exciting job. You just get to watch all these films as they are shown and then write about it.
Right, and you get invited to the advanced screenings,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you watch
yeah.
it before everybody else, no spoilers.
Yes.
And I haven't paid for a movie ticket since 2017.
I am so jealous.
I mean, like, unless you're insider, that's one of your jobs, or your MTRCB. Those are
Yeah,
probably the reasons,
right.
ways
Yeah.
that you can do that. But of course, license to be mean.
I don't believe in being mean, but if you have to be critical, I think it's
critical.
important to talk about certain reasons why a movie doesn't succeed in
There you go.
relating
Yeah, yeah.
its messages. But as long as you explain and defend your position, I think it's acceptable. I haven't gotten too much hate yet anyway, so I feel like I'm doing an okay job.
Well, I like how you said yet. And
Yet.
the fact that, we're going to try to get you there today. No, but it has been one of the reasons why that we wanted you here is because film runs in your blood.
Yeah.
It really runs
Yes.
in your blood. Of course, your father, si Pe Gallaga, has had some, I believe it's fair to say, iconic and very important work in Philippine cinema, to the point that I'm sure even Anna's watched it in her youth.
Movies?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was. I feel like you're pointing out very subtly my age again.
Subtly lang.
Very subtly.
I'm looking at the years that we're showing here. Eh?
Yeah. But did you ever work with your late dad?
Yes.
Okay.
In the later part of his career, I was the one who was writing his movies. We
Okay.
worked on 2 movies and 2 short films together. So I'd written Sonata in 2013 with the amazing late Cherry Hill. And
Yeah,
then in
love her.
2014, I wrote the remake of Chanak.
Chanak.
That's with Judy Ann Santos and
Yes.
Selen Yousaf.
What was your first shared film memory with your late dad, and how did collaborating with him on set felt?
My first memories of we would always be invited to the film sets. So I was 7, 8 years old when they were shooting Chanak. So they brought us all the way to Laguna. We were watching them burn down a house, and then having Lot and Janice run through, the fields, the
Yeah.
palay. Then later on, I didn't want anything to do with my dad because, you grow up and everyone's always asking you, you're going to be a director, you're going to be
Yeah.
like your
Yeah,
dad.
yeah,
And that can get
yeah.
very annoying to a teenager.
Yeah.
But film's in my blood. I was watching movies before I was reading books. I was 4 years old. My dad didn't believe in censorship, so I was watching all kinds of movies.
Oh, no.
So at certain point, I wanted to be a writer. And all of a sudden, he was like, can you write me a script? Because I'm having problems with this, etc. So we started working together since 2005.
Okay.
We didn't get to really produce anything until a short film that we did in 2007. And then the first full length was at 2013. So it was hard to get through to the industry, but I was working for him and we were writing and submitting scripts and pitches. And because I've learned everything that I learned about movies from him, we have the same kind of language, so it's very easy to talk about movies.
I love that. Sorry, natawa ako when you said that you didn't believe in censorship. So
yeah.
it feels like you may have seen On Sean on the Loo very young, or some other movies
Oh,
that
yeah.
have been.
When Basic Instinct came out, I was like 11
Oh
or
my God.
12
That-
or something like
Whoa.
that.
You
know,
may
it
have
was-
been too young for these movies, by the way.
My dad would like I'd close my eyes because I was a very conservative child. I would
Okay,
close
okay.
my eyes and he would take them out and he goes, "Why? How do you think you were born?" That's the
my
kind of
gosh,
person he was.
that's so-
It was biological for him.
I
know?
like
Oh my
that,
gosh.
though.
That was sex ed for you.
Yeah,
Right,
at a
yeah.
very
so
early
funny at
age.
11. All right. So
Yeah.
okay, we're not gonna go down that rabbit hole. I would love to, but that's not. All right. So one of the reasons why you're here, yeah, kasi morning show nga.
Oh my goodness, I
Morning
forgot.
show tayo. So one of the reasons why we have you here is because we want to talk about Buwan ng Wika. And of course, helping promote Filipino film by talking about the classics and of course some contemporary films that feeling natin essential to really enjoy
yes.
Buwan ng Wika.
Yes.
So we're gonna start off first with a list of classic films that we're gonna go through.
Baka hindi pa pinapanganak si Paolo sa ibang mga films
No, it's
na
true.
to.
All of
Yeah.
these. All of these. Well, yeah.
Grabe ka naman kumaka all of these.
No,
May
all of these,
80s
a classic
pa.
film. Oh, I was born in the 90s.
Oh my gosh, wait, hold on.
All right, so I'll let you lead this part kasi ka-era mo eh.
classic,
Time mo to
classic.
eh.
Fine,
Let's
fine,
start off with the
okay?
start of your era, 1959. maybe.
He always does this to me, by the way.
Okay.
Wanggo, any chance he can target my age, he does that. But anyway, so we start with classic films, and these are your 7 recommendations. We start with Biyaya
Ng
ng Lupa, 1959 by Manuel Silos.
It's a wonderful movie that showcases the beauty of the Filipino family, the Filipino community. It's a slice of life. There's no real plot into the piece, but it's wonderfully written, very strong, heavy character work. And what I love about this is it's part of my curriculum when I teach.
Okay.
And what happens is you show it to these freshmen, and these are kids who grew up in Hollywood movies. They've never seen a classic film. They've never seen a classic Filipino film. And then they watch this black and white movie, and all of a sudden they'll come up to me during class and they'll say, "I wasn't bored at all." And they got to see what it was like. They were able to recognize their own families that they know in this movie. And it's really one of the things I really enjoy showing to my class because it has fantastic editing. I have students who will say their editing is so good. It's like the movies of today. And like, no, the movies of today are this good because of films like Biyaya ng Lupa.
Yeah.
It's really an amazing piece.
Yeah.
Fantastic work by Rosa Rosal.
Yes, Rosa
My
Rosal.
God, her performance here is magnificent.
How do you think this film, still resonates today?
Because it talks about our classic, very strong Filipino values. Family first, the way with which we toil the land and we wait for the blessings to come and life happens in between. And that's the Filipino life.
Yeah.
How we are so connected to each other, to our community. I find that Western culture is very lonely. They're very, like, you're 18, go out there,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
on your own. But here, we don't leave the house until we're 30.
Yeah.
You know, that sort
Even
of thing.
older.
Or even older.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
people never do. They just build a
Exactly.
little extension for the family to live.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
And you can see this, the bedrock, the DNA
Okay.
of the Filipino family is seen in this movie.
Yeah,
All right.
100%. So, in the interest of time, we're also going to try and group some films together.
Sure.
We can talk about them because the next 2 films that we want to talk about, I personally would have always in contention as some of the best
Yes.
ever that Philippine cinema has produced. And that is the 1970 film by Lino Broca, Manila sa Kuko ng Liwanag, and of course, the 1982's Himala by Ishmael Bernal.
Yeah.
Arguably, the 2 most impactful directors in Philippine cinema. I'd say arguably because some people could make arguments for other people. But let's talk about these 2 works. I think if you're a film student, you have to at least look at these.
Yes.
But why should the casual, not as hardcore film fan enjoy these as well?
Again, what's amazing about Lino Broca and Ishmael Bernal is the way by which they reflect our actual society
Yes.
in their movies. And Lino Broca is a lot more critical of the Filipino condition. His movies are always talking about our lapses and our faults, and the way by which he presents it through the oppressive nature of the elites,
Yeah.
the government's failings. Whereas in Ishmael Pernal, it's our human frailty. It's the individual's issues and trying to become better. And these two movies, I think, deal with the corruption and the way that the city deteriorates. That's
Yeah.
Manila. Whereas Himala is our own relationship with our faith and our
Yeah.
need
Yes.
for a savior.
Yeah.
And how easily we can be fooled by that.
Yeah.
And these are things that I think you can still see today. I think that's what's wonderful about these movies is that it was so relevant when they first came out. You watch it now and it still
And
hits.
it still is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I was
still
gonna
hits.
say, yeah. The Lino Broca film, Manila's Kuko ng Liwanag in particular, we talk about the grit and the grime.
Yeah.
And it's still quite there. Tapos yung Himala, it's been remade over and over again,
Yes.
even in musicals.
Yes.
And still, it resonates here.
Yes, that's right.
And what's wonderful about these two, because we know that there's this level of a film niche that people are talking about, poverty porn. While this does talk about struggle, it does talk about the underprivileged, it's not poverty porn.
Yeah,
It doesn't
it's not.
celebrate
It's
it.
not.
It doesn't
Yeah, yeah.
romanticize it.
Right, right.
Hate that
Yeah.
term, but it's
Yeah.
there.
It's there.
Yeah, it's a film term that film students try to avoid
Yeah.
at the very least, or
Yeah.
at least we're trying to avoid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they could remake Maynila sa Kukol ng Liwanag now, who would be the best star to play Bembol Rocco's character?
First things, I really don't like remakes because the movies are great on their own.
Didn't
wait,
you write
I
one?
wrote one. I
But
just
yeah,
wrote one.
you did.
I didn't want to. I honestly didn't want to. I thought the first one was perfect, but they thought it was. But
But Bembol Rocco's character.
I think these two particular films don't because
Okay.
they're very perfect capsule of their time, and then to what you call, and they still matter now. I think what would be interesting, and a lot of these things have been, especially for Manila sa Kuko ng Liwanag, things have changed so drastically
Yeah.
that to update it, to do a remake in the modern world would be very, very different. Our relationship with, with the Chinese community is not as bad as it is depicted in Manila sa Kuko ng Liwanag. So, remaking that one, I think it's important for the time. Himala, I think, can still be done.
Yeah, Himala pwede
Yeah,
pa.
yes.
Because the
I
way
think that's the
with
reason
which
why it has been done.
Yes,
Yes.
and because with the and when we talk about cults and there's so many now that's going on. I remember one school year where the thesis films of Benil, there were like 5 cult movies, and I'm like, what's going on? Why are the kids queuing in on that?
They're
Because
in a cult.
No, I hope not. I hope not.
They're speaking from experience. They're in a cult.
Oh, but in talking about the possibility of who could do the Bembol Rojo role, that's a tough one. But I guess the go-to would be an easy one to go to is always Sid Lucero because he can do
Yeah,
anything you
yeah.
ask of him and he
Yes.
will throw himself into that. That's something I'm gonna have to think about a lot more
Hirap.
clearly.
Yeah.
Because
It'll take a while.
Yeah,
because I think what was wonderful about Bembol Rojo's performance was the innocence.
Yeah.
He was really this babes in the woods sort of character. And Sid is a very mature and I think he can do innocence, but when you see him, of all the movies that you've seen him in, that's not what the audience is going to see, the
Yeah.
innocence. So
Yeah.
I have to think really hard about who's...
That's so hard because it's a movie wherein the character becomes a canvas because it's changed by the environment.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Lumalabas
we're
yung
halfway-
pagka-comarts ko.
We're halfway through our list.
Yeah.
Next one is Mababangong Bangungot.
Yes.
1977 by Kidlat Tahimik.
Oh God. What's wonderful, I'm taking my master's in UP, so of course I'm being brought into this decolonial, and what's wonderful about this is how he frames the decolonial questions, where he really recognizes the Filipinos' attachment to our Western colonizers and how there's always this colonial mentality going on. And this movie cuts right through, deep within, and asks really important questions about who we are as a people and why are we always looking out for the good things in life.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those movies that it's hard to suggest to people who just want, a good time. This is a thinking movie.
This is a thinking
This is a
piece.
thinking movie. You have to think about it. But speaking of thinking about things, we're gonna group the next 3 movies together because they were all made around the same time. And you talk about films being a capsule of when they were made. And the 80s were a very interesting time for very many reasons.
Yes.
Yeah.
For those who don't know what we're talking about, pick up a history book. Oro Plata Mata, obviously by Wanggo Gallaga back in 1988. Temptation Island by Joey Gosumfiao in 1980. I'm so happy you included that, by the way.
Always,
I'm
yeah.
so happy you included that. And of course, I think very underrated, Batch 81 by Mike De Leon back in 1982, which was a very brave movie for the
Yes.
time.
Yeah.
Very
Yes.
brave movie. So let's talk about those 3. Let's start off first with we got to talk about Oro Plata Mata. You're here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What I love about when my dad talks about it, when he talks about that movie, and I think it is that all the war movies that he's done, and he's done this also with Virgin Forest, and he's also done this with Isang Araw Walang Diyos. Not Tatlong Araw Walang Diyos. He did his own a sort of like a military film
Yeah.
called Isang Araw Walang Diyos. He's always talking about sometimes the biggest enemy that we've got, especially in war, is ourselves.
Yeah.
And he talks about the class, the class discrepancy, the class struggle, the elite family escaping, but still acting as if everything's the same. They're still acting like the elites, and they're trying to run away from the war, but they don't realize that things have changed. The power struggle has switched. And I think this was one of the first few Filipino films that really looked at one of the regions. One of the first few Filipino films of the past that was able to really amplify how different regions have different responses to historical events. A lot of the times, the Philippine cinema can be very Manila-centric. And this one was able to really showcase like what Bacolod life was like and what was going on in Negros Occidental. Batch 81 is just incredible look into the idea of toxic masculinity, the rise of fascism in the younger, and how it can be so appealing
Yes.
and tempting.
Yeah.
And it was very reflective of the time of that era. And of course, I always love to put Temptation Island. It's the last movie I show in my Philippine film history class.
Okay.
Because you watch films like the ones that I put in the list. Maynila sa Kuko ng Liwanag, Biyaya ng Lupa. I have Anak Dalita there. I have and you end with Temptation Island because everyone's like, after watching all of those amazing films, they're like, what's going on? What are we watching?
Yeah.
But I think what's
Yes.
amazing about that, it's perfect camp.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
And you can't talk about the Filipino audience without talking about camp. Because we're so baduy.
Yeah.
We
Filipino,
enjoy that.
And we enjoy
yeah,
that.
We
Love
enjoy
it.
that so
the
much.
break in logic,
Yeah,
the excessiveness of ourselves. And if you can't, and for me, especially for film kids, for my film, I call them kids, for my film students, if you can't recognize camp, you're going to have a very hard time reaching your audience.
Yeah.
Right, yes.
And for me, it's the value of camp also.
Yeah.
Kasi ang tataba din ng utak ng mga Pinoy. Eh. Like when you look at the way that they write things or the things that make them laugh. Like every time I think about Temptation Island, I always think about yung walang tubig, walang pagkain. Eh, magsayaw na lang tayo. That's so good.
Yeah.
Or tapos, or I forgot that other scene with the helicopter on top of the pool.
Yes.
It's so, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's just so good.
And I mean, I've been reading a lot of stuff that and from the stories that I've heard, I heard that Joey Goshenfeld was very serious about making this movie. He
Yeah.
was very serious. He didn't
Yeah.
even realize that he was doing when people would come up to him, Joey, I love your movie. It's so funny. Why did you laugh? It's a drama. Those are the stories that I hear from people that he was very serious about the work, which makes it perfect camp.
Right,
Yeah.
Because
right, yeah.
the best camp is unintentional.
That's true.
Yes. Oh, that's so good. I'm so happy. All right. Look, we now have another list that we're going to share later. It's going to be more on contemporary films, but we're going to take a quick break before that. So let's take a quick breather together. Film critic Wanggo Gallaga is still with us after the break. Don't go away. Beautiful day. We'll be right back. welcome back. You're still watching Beautiful Day. We're still here with film critic Wanggo Gallaga. We'll now go through your 7 essential films, the contemporary edition.
This is harder.
This
is
is
harder.
actually this is
This
hard.
is much harder to do because there's just so many.
Yes.
There's so many to choose from.
Yeah, and you had to limit it to what? How many? 7?
I think I went over.
Okay.
I think I went
No,
over.
no, no. We picked out 7.
Oh,
so
okay.
We threw some away. We're
Okay.
sorry. Yeah, it's just that Anne, I think we can. May guarantee na tayo. I was born for all of these already.
Yes.
Just to be sure, okay?
Fine.
Yeah. All right, and what do you want to start off with?
First one, Sunshine, Antoinette Daune, 2024. I was able to watch that last night.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Napakahusay.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And for me, if we're going to talk about films in Buwan ng Wika, for me, it's Tonette Hadaon is so important because of her dialogue is so right into the pulse of the people.
Yes.
Like she gets how people talk.
Yes.
And there's a whole, I mean, back in, I think, 2012 to 2015, she was like the master of the Hugot film.
Yes.
You remember that
Yes.
era
True.
of Hugot films where it was
Yes.
all about really snappy dialogue, and she always got it. And then later on, when the Hugot culture kind of like ended, she started to move more into more serious fare, Fangirl, and now Sunshine. And you can see that dialogue, the precision.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just incredible. It's yeah. I'm so I love all of her films, but I think Sunshine is her strongest.
And it's really, it really grabs your attention from the moment it starts until the end. And you're like, wow, that was really amazing.
Yeah.
And you really felt the characters, everything that they were going through, especially Marisa Cal. It was just really amazing.
Yeah, I mean, like, I haven't seen it yet. I only have seen clips of it, unfortunately. But then, I like how you mentioned that si Direk is just so good with words. But then this is also so visual.
Yes.
In a way
Yes.
that ang linis ng screen when she's performing. But then as soon as it's out, it's so... As soon as she's not performing, it feels so gritty and real and not as performative
Parang there
anymore.
was a play of light here. It's bright when she's performing rhythmic gymnastics, but out on the street, everything is dark and gritty.
I think that's
Yeah.
the amazing work of Paolo Orendain
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
the cinematographer. They work so well together.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Anne saw it.
You
Thanks
should
for the
see it.
invite. Thanks for the invite. That's what I want to drive into. But let's move on
Okay.
here. Dwayne Baltazar's 2018 Oda sa Wala.
Again, another one who's excellent with her dialogue. But Oda sa Wala is a very quiet movie, and it's like the language of grief, of longing, and the way that she plays around with this very. It's almost magic realism, the way that the character played by Pokwang, what do you call this, with a dead body, and how she keeps it and how she holds on to it and she's not letting it go. It's a huge metaphor, I think, for Filipino audiences, for Filipinos, in how we can't let some certain things go. We're a very sentimental bunch, and you can really feel it on just the emotion level. She's got Dwayne has got a lot of amazing movies, so making the choice between this and Hypothalamus. But I think Oda sa Wala is, an essential that I think people should get to watch.
I'm looking at it on screen.
Yeah, I mean, like Hypothalamus also would have been a great choice. I haven't seen Oda sa Wala, but Hypothalamus was super interesting as well. Another one here that I think more mainstream, I
Yes.
guess. Sid and Aya, Not a Love Story, by Irene Emma Villamor back in 2018. And I mean, this was also super interesting. A different take on a Filipino love story-ish, but it's not a
Yes.
love story as per the film title. Yeah, why this one?
Well, a lot of Irene's work always deals with the cost of love, and here it's the transactional nature of it. You have someone who has a lot of money but is very, very lonely. And then you have someone who needs the money, and she's this bubbly, bright character. And it almost seems like it should be a right fit. But you start to realize that no, they're filling up an emptiness in each other that should be filled up by themselves, by their own selves. So what you're seeing here is that They're coming together, but for the wrong reasons. And everything looks like it should be together, but they keep talking to each other, and as the movie starts to unfold, you start to realize, wait a minute, they're not supposed to be together. And it's a great use of both Ding Dong and Ann Curtis.
Yeah.
Their star power, the chemistry, the way that they interact. It's just such a lovely movie. And outside of it, it takes a look at the Philippines outside of our more underprivileged locations. It's more fast-paced, but it's also very aspirational in that regard. So it's a nice shift to how we can imagine the Philippines to be. But even though we're looking at BGC, we're looking at the cosmopolitan side, people are still looking for something. So I thought that was going to be very interesting.
Pwede siyang love hacks topic, no?
Actually.
Looking for someone in this busy, busy world, right? Next movie on our list, on your list, Babae at Baril, Ray Red, 2019.
Yes. I'm a feminist, and so I think you notice that a lot of the films are, especially the contemporary, directed by women, about women's stories. And Babae at Baril is such an in-your-face look at how the violence against women is perpetrated not just at work, but on the streets, in the commute, in the everyday, how scary it must be to be alone, a woman alone in this dark city, and how the power of a gun can change you completely as a person. She has been assaulted at work. She feels constantly threatened by her surroundings. She gets the gun, and all of a sudden she takes on a more violent nature. And it talks about violence. It talks about the violence that we have here. Fantastic performance by Janine De Leon. Oh, she's incredible. You can see this on Netflix. I suggest that you do. It's such a, it's so in your face.
Yeah.
And it's such a strong piece.
Yeah, the next one we have here is from 2017, Respeto by Treb Monteras.
I'm not the biggest fan of rap, but I love the way that rap works in the Filipino language. I used to commute, back when I was still living in San Juan, I used to take a commute, and there's this one jeep route that I take. For some reason, all the jeepneys were playing Filipino rap music. And I was listening to it, and I was like, our language is so well suited for this because of our we have very simple syllables. We are hunlapi, gitlapi, and it allows us to repeat syllables. It's so perfect for it. We never cheat. American rap cheats. They make up words just so that things could rhyme at the end.
Yes.
What's wonderful about Respeto is that it shows us the power and the reason why rap is not just some, diss track or whatever. It's survival.
Yeah.
In these underprivileged communities, rap is your means to respect, means to elevate yourself. And then what Treb Monteras does is that he puts it side by side with balagtasan, with the Filipino art of debating through verse.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's this interplay of the modern and the past, the Filipino and the Filipinized Western art form. And then there's also the whole topic of oppression and poverty. Such a powerful piece. And it made me respect and rap. Fell in love with it, hearing it now in P-pop and all of that stuff. It's an amazing, amazing movie. And what's wonderful, the subtitles in English are also in verse. Whoever did the subtitles for this movie is incredible. Because it's really fast. I'm not a native, I'm an English speaker, and then we spoke Hiligaynon at home. So my Tagalog is, so when they're rapping really fast, I really need the subtitles.
Yeah.
It's hard to grasp.
But the subtitles are in verse as well. So I was like,
it doesn't take you away from
doesn't take you away from the moment.
Yeah.
Wonderful movie. It's also on Netflix.
Yeah,
Oh, this I
Respeto,
gotta
yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Good. I mean, just talking about the Filipino rap in general. It's its own culture as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's its own culture at
And
iba
when you
talaga.
listen to those rap battles,
Oh, yeah.
like in the
The top.
vernacular, di ba?
Yeah.
Galing husay.
It's insane. I mean, kudos to all of them because we can't even scratch the surface when it comes to
can't.
that. All right, so next one, 2016, Pamilya Ordinario by Eduardo Roy Jr.
Yeah, I'm also very sorry that all of the things I'm choosing are so heavy.
Oo.
They're very, very. I love the complexity.
Yeah.
I love the way that movies can show us and immerse us into the worlds of places that we might be separated from.
Yeah.
And Pamilya Ordinario has, it just leans in any direction, and it could be what we were calling poverty porn a while ago, where
Yeah,
it
I was gonna
romanticizes.
say, yeah.
And Pamilya Ordinario does not. And it manages to show the lives of the homeless, the people who are living in the streets. And it manages to still give them a level of dignity, even when they are undignified, maybe in the things that they do, in the things that they're, in the struggles that they have to face. The way that they are so vulnerable to people who are, scamming them. In this movie, this couple, this teenage couple who have a child, their kid gets kidnapped.
Yeah.
It's taken from them, and there's no one out there to protect them. There's no one out there to help them. And you get to see, and you're really inside these people's worlds. And the wonderful Hasmin Kilip did a fantastic performance, as well as Martin Romualdo.
Yeah.
Romualdo Martin, sorry.
Yeah, I mean it's such a heavy topic, but then as well as the next one actually, we actually had Baby Ruta Villarama
Yes.
here. The film that you picked was Sunday Beauty Queens. Again, probably one of her most iconic works. I'm betting though her latest on the West Philippine Sea might actually be there as well.
I can't
Or
wait to see it.
docu.
I haven't seen it, so I
Yeah.
didn't want to recommend the film I hadn't
yeah,
seen.
no,
but
I understand. I understand.
But Sunday Beauty Queens, I teach this also. I use this in my class when we talk about film and culture. And what's amazing is how we take our OFWs for granted.
Yeah, I was
and
gonna
maybe
say.
and even if you think that no, I don't, I understand. No, this movie shows us exactly so much more about the way by which they are suffering, the way by which they are sacrificing,
Yeah.
not just for their families, but because they have one of the highest, the remittances
Yes.
really contribute so much to the GDP. And ito yung kapalit.
Yeah.
And the idea that they go and do these beauty pageants on their day off, just so that they can celebrate what it means to be Filipino, just for
Yeah.
one day where they can be a queen, rather than for some of them working as domestic helpers for other people's families. It's such a humanizing way of framing their struggle.
Yeah, I mean, like I remember when I first saw this, and it basically, it opened my eyes to looking for Manila everywhere else. What I mean that is that kasi normally kapag may OFW community, which is everywhere, by the way,
Everywhere.
Yeah. Yes.
like a room can be turned into Manila when they're together, and it reminded me so much of Sunday Beauty Queens. So I don't know, I think it's very impactful, but of course we don't want to end on a bit of a heavy note.
Yeah.
So no, and this is a bit off the cuff here, just so we're again, this is Buwan ng Wika, and Pinoys are known for iba yung humor natin.
Yeah.
Guilty watches that you won't necessarily say are important pieces of Philippine cinema, but you're like, okay, you know what? This is for a good time.
You know what? Not guilty. I love Filipino rom-coms.
Yeah.
I love Filipino
I
rom-coms
love Filipino
too.
rom-coms.
Nabuhayan si Ann.
Yeah.
Nabuhayan si Ann.
Oo, lalo na
Yeah.
pag yung mga love teams,
Yeah.
diba?
And just the hello, love, goodbye, the
Ayun.
switching of love teams,
Yeah.
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
it around with that. I saw in Inconvenient Love, Don Bell have such great chemistry. They really build each other up. Regal plays around with these new artists, that the young artists that I'm not familiar with. I'm so familiar with all of the
Yeah.
older ones,
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah.
But their recent one in the MMFF, such a lovely. The title escapes me for the moment, but it's out there on Netflix
The last
already.
MMFF, yes.
Yeah. There's so many, and I don't feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
It's pleasure. We're such romantics. I'm a romantic, and my students will tell me, but Filipino rom-coms are so cringy. They're so cheesy, and I'm like, because
But we love that.
Yeah.
That is what the audience look for. right? When they go see a rom-com, they want that cheesiness.
Right.
Kilig.
Yeah, and because everything is so impersonal now because of the internet.
Yeah.
We're always communicating through our phones, through messaging apps. The cheesiness and the cringiness of of showering someone in front of you with your affection. It's wonderful to look at on screen.
Oh my gosh! All right, you know what? I wish we had an hour more because we could go on and talk about that as well.
Yes, come
But
back.
Wanggo, before we let you go, we always ask this question.
Yes.
Very quickly, unfortunately, what makes your day beautiful?
I guess just waking up every day and being able to watch more movies. I'm sorry, that's my whole life is movies. My whole life is theater. My whole life is and being able to teach and share all of that I know about movies to students. I get invited to workshops. I get invited to talks, and just to talk about it because there's so many other beautiful ways to look at life. There are so many beautiful ways to look at life, and you can see this in movies. You don't have to experience it yourself. You can see it there.
You can experience it through there.
There, and then it can encourage you to go and seek it out for yourself.
Oh my goodness.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Wanggo. And of course,
you.
someone said that, oh, sent me na good morning sa
Yes,
Facebook.
Yvonne Ruiz del Rosario.
Nanay ko yan eh. Salamat Pagi in Malaysia. So
Hi,
again,
Tita.
Wanggo, I really appreciate you.
I really thank you for having me.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much for your time. Sana we had more time.
I know,
right?
my gosh,
Oh my
I wanted
goodness.
another body to talk about rom-coms. All right, that's a wrap on our show this Friday, August 1st. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Paolo de Rosario. Remember, keep it cool and take it easy.
I'm Asis-Carilo. Before we go, quick shout out to my beauty sponsors, Lift Clinic and Pino Beauty Lounge, and to our home, of course, for our fantastic set. Have a great day and an awesome weekend ahead, and always remember to choose joy, spread love and kindness, and pack your own sunshine. See you again next week, 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. only here on
Beautiful day.
Day.